Right. Hello, my beautiful humans. Welcome to yoga. Take a couple of nice deep breaths just in this sitting position. And you can take the time to find some comfort. Well, we will eventually come onto our back. Meet me at the bottom of an exhale, all the way out with your breath. Seal the lips. Inhale slowly through the nose. All the way to the top, pause. Open mouth, sigh it out. Again, seal the lips. Inhale through the nose. Nice and slow, fill up. All the way to the top, pause. Exhale, sigh it out. You can even slouch a little bit. I'm giving you permission to slouch and sigh it all out. Inhale, inhale through the nose, all the way to the top. One more, sigh it out. And now breathe naturally. Grab your pillow or block with a pillow on top of it and put it across or on your mat so that you can lay down onto your back and have your pillow come kind of right across the shoulder blades, right at the bottom of the shoulder blades, so that the head can still sort of drape down and meet the mat with the back of your head. Your shoulders might be elevated. And once you kind of find this position, take your feet and bring them out as wide as your mat, or wider than your hips really, and then let your knees fall in. This is a nice supportive place for the pelvis. And then open up your arms, and you can kind of take this sort of slowly, especially if you find that you're getting a lot of stretching sensation, and it really kind of depends on, you know, how big your pillow is and what kind of tightness you might have through the chest. But eventually opening the arms, palms up, and that helps facilitate the shoulders to sort of externally rotate and open up the chest. So there's going to be varying degrees of sensations because we're all on different objects underneath us, but be in the sensation, this opening of heart. Sometimes it can feel a little vulnerable. Be okay with that. Sit with that. Whatever kind of comes up here, allow that to be the place that needs attention. Breathe. And begin to deepen your breath. And feel how being in this heart opening position, as you deepen your breath, might open up the chest and belly even more. Nice, full, fluid breaths. Taking a moment to check in here. Check in physically. How does your body feel today? And just observe that. And then also, where is your mind space today or right now? Narrow it down to this moment. How are you feeling? There's a lot going on in our world right now. There's a lot going on in our own lives right now. There's a lot to take in, and that has a big effect on our mind and our ability to settle into our body. So be willing to acknowledge that, but then let it go. And breathe into that. Breathe into that space of letting go, releases. Hopefully all of you have found a position and a place where you can find stillness. You can find that ability to let go. And if you need to adjust, adjust. That's okay. We're going to take a whole minute, one full minute of silence. And during that silence, I want you to breathe. I want you to check in with your body, being able to release tension where needed. Check in with your mind space. As your mind wandered, invite it back. Give it a little hug as it comes back. And just keep that tethering back and forth between checking in with your mind and your body so that you can create and cultivate presence. Breathing in and out for a minute. And to pull yourself back up to the surface. And as slowly and gracefully as possible, you're going to let your knees fall to the side, roll up to one side so that you can remove the pillow from behind you, and then come back to your back and find that wide foot, narrow knee position once again without the pillow underneath. Keep the eyes open here. Tap back into your breath. Throughout practice today, have that intention of just checking in with mind and body, pulling them back in to the center space, finding that yoking, that union throughout your breath. Go ahead and heel toe your feet back closer together. Keep the left leg bent, bring the right knee in towards the chest. And again, we've done this before, so if you know that you feel pretty comfortable extending that left leg straight, go ahead and do so. If it feels a lot better for you to support yourself with that bent knee, great, stay there, okay? If you've got your leg long, make it active. So it's not just hanging out there, okay? Pull the kneecap up the leg just a little bit and pull the glute underneath you just a bit. Check in with your shoulders, maybe roll them out just a little bit so we're not holding tension there. Let up on the knee and slide it out to the right and pull it back in. So now it's being pulled more towards your armpit. Again, just checking in with that left leg. If you've got it straight, it's straight and strong. Everybody's shoulders, check in with those. Eyes are open, breath is big and full. And let go of that knee just a little bit. Come into that half happy baby. So hand on the outside of the foot or grabbing the ankle or calf, whatever you've got access to, and pulling down on that foot and leg so that the knee continues to sort of come to the armpit. And keeping that left leg, if it's straight, nice and strong, everybody pull the belly in just a little bit. Now, if you have room here, see if you can begin to move towards a straight leg. Now, I know like some of you are like, no way, I'm never gonna get that. That's okay. Just see if you can start to straighten that leg. The shoulder might come up off the ground, but keep that left leg really grounded to the ground and see how straight you can get, right? May not be very straight and that's okay. come back into that half happy baby by bending through the knee. And release that foot and come into a supine twist, letting that left knee fall across. Now, if this feels like too much twist for you, you can come back up to center, bring your knees together and let both knees fall together. Okay, either way, welcome to put a block under that knee to help ground it. Open up the arms, palms up, and then look over the right hand shoulder. Again, just checking in, mind, what is it doing? Where is it at? Invite it back in, body. Where can you let go of some tension? And let your breath help do that. Slowly coming back up to center, getting your hips back on the ground. Left leg is going to extend long for everybody. Bring your right sole of the foot to the inner left thigh. So it's this reclined, we call this is a tree pose position. It's normally done in a standing single leg balance. We're doing it here on our back to feel the opening of the hip. Actively pull that right knee down towards the ground. Pull in the belly just a little bit, make that left leg straight and strong. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Okay. As you do that, you might find that your lower back just has this natural sort of desire to pull up off the ground. I want you to combat that by pulling the belly in. So you start to flatten that low back curve just a little bit. And again, you can widen that overhead reach to a Y if that feels a little bit more supportive. If you've got your arms overhead, bring them back down towards the hips. Bring that right hand to the outside of the right knee. Help it come back up to center. Let's switch sides. So you can start with that right knee bent, foot flat on the ground. Pull in the left knee. And then we've been here before, so if you know that you can kind of feel comfortable enough in the straight leg with the right leg, extend that out. And then again, like making that right leg straight and strong. It's not just hanging out there. That right side is what's helping anchor your hips and your legs to the ground. Check in with the shoulders. Let go of some tension. Let go of that knee just a little bit. Slide it off to the left and then pull it closer to the armpit as it comes to the side of the rib cage. You might find here that's even more important to keep that engagement on the right hand side of your body. Your belly might even need to pull in to keep you grounded on the mat. Checking in with the shoulders, the jaw. Release the knee, come into that half happy baby. So whatever you can grab on that left side, actively pulling down on the leg so that the knee continues to pull down towards the armpit. Breathe, keep the eyes open, stay present. Check in, body, mind, breath. Now, see what it might feel like to start to straighten that leg. Pull the belly in as you maybe get a little straighter. Just a little bit at a time to see where you can go here. And then slowly come back into that half happy baby. And then release the hand. Allow that left sole of the foot to come into the right inner thigh. Into this sort of figure 4 tree pose. Again, that right leg straight and strong. Okay, so the kneecaps pulled up the leg, the toes are pointed up, actively pulling that left knee to the ground, keeping the low belly toned and pulled in so that your hips stay anchored. Inhale your arms up overhead. And then remember that little arching of the low back as we go overhead. Combat it. Pull the low belly in. Adjust the arms overhead if you need to. Breathe here. Find the engagement in the body in this pose. Sweep your arms back down to your hips. Let your left hand close the left thigh and come into that kneeling, or sorry, the feet flat on the ground. Lift the right leg up. We're gonna go through lymphedema here. Exhale, point the toe. Inhale, pull the toes towards the shins. Exhale, point, so find the calf here. Inhale, pull the toes towards the shin. I don't know why I always get those mixed up. Keep going, use your breath. Find engagement through each end range of motion. Next, exhale, bend the knee, squeeze the heel into the glute, really squeeze it in, and then inhale, release out long. Exhale, squeeze in, inhale, up long. Keep going, I want you to do 3 more. Use your breath. After your third one, you're gonna stay still, up above the hip, little circles, right? You guys know where we're going. Little circles, around and around. Keep them slow, and then change directions. Keep that breath big. Check in, mind and body. Come to stillness, and release the foot down to the mat. Switch sides. Bring that left foot up, straighten your leg. Okay, exhale, point, find engagement through the calf. Inhale, pull the toes towards the shins. Exhale, find that end range of motion that requires engagement. Exhale, pull the toes in. 3 more, use your breath. Check in. Stay present. Next exhale, you've got your heel to the glute, squeeze it in, and then inhale straight, 3 more. And even when you go straight, really make that leg straight and strong. See if you can pull the kneecap down the leg. Once you've finished your third one, hold still, little circles. One direction, keep them slow. And right over the hip if possible. Switch directions. Come to stillness. Return that left foot to the ground. We are going to transition to all fours. So you can come to your side. Take your time here. Really, don't feel hurried. Come up into a seated position. And then find all fours with your head still at the front of your mat, okay? So take your time, let that be a transition. Add props here. Anything you might need under the knees, okay? Make this comfortable. Find tabletop, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Find that structure through tabletop, so pull the shoulders down the back and the belly pulled in. Hold that for a moment. So find that engagement of the shoulders plugging down the back. And then push down through your hands so that your upper back arches just a little bit. So you're almost like pushing away the ground and arching just a tiny bit through the upper back. Pull that belly in, and then think about your hands and knees being pulled towards each other. Your whole front core should be sort of lit up in sort of a bracing mode. Good. Release all that tension, but keep some structure. And inhale fully. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Keep breathing. Keep moving. Allow this time to really connect with your body as it moves through these opposing sort of arches in the spine. Couple more breaths here, really take some time. And coming into stillness. Inhale the right arm up, look up, twist up. Exhale, thread the needle, look and reach underneath the left arm. We're gonna keep it dynamic. Inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, thread the needle, reach underneath. One more. Inhale. And exhale this time as you reach all the way through, put the hand, shoulder, temple down. As your right arm is reaching to the left, see if that right hip can kind of push out to the right a little bit, finding that stretch along the low back. This left hand can stay put. It can also extend out onto the mat above the head, or even sweep behind you into a half bind here, reaching for that right thigh behind you. So feel free to check those out or stay put. If your hand is moved from the mat next to your face, return it. Push firmly through the left hand as you inhale, look up, reach up, and then exhale, plant that hand down, switch sides. As you inhale, look up, reach up, exhale, thread. Inhale, reach up, look up, exhale, thread. Think about that shoulder that's on the ground. Pull that shoulder down so you've got the structure. You're inhaling, reaching up, exhale. Here, pausing at your fullest reach, letting hand, shoulder, temple come down onto the mat. And thinking about that left hip pushing out left a little bit. And then if you want to experiment with different hand placements on this side, go for it. Breathe here. Check in. If your hand is moved from the mat next to your face, return it. Push firmly through the right hand as you inhale, look up, reach up, and return your hand to the mat. All right. Bring your right leg out straight to your right. Try to get the sole of your foot on the ground. Pausing here. Okay, find the structure of your tabletop like we did in the beginning. So shoulders down the back, right? Belly pulled in. I want you to think about pushing your right hip down towards your left knee. It's gonna open up the inner thigh, little bend in the knee if you feel a lot of sensation there. So creating that action of the hip pushing down. Keep the structure in that tabletop. All right, we're gonna come into a half kneeling position. So bend through that right leg, and however you can get it up next to your right hand, okay? So our foot is next to the right hand, and then I'm gonna have you lift the right hand, twisting up and chest to the right. So we're in this lunge position. If you're like, this feels like so much to ask, a block can come under, real handy underneath that bottom hand if you've got that available to you. So just twisting up, keeping some structure through the low belly and the shoulders. And then rounding back down, you can use your hand on your knee if you'd like to come upright, okay? All right, so now we want to square our hips to the front of the mat. Take our right hip, pull it back, left hip, pull it forward, tailbone down. Already, we should probably be feeling that left hip flexor, okay? Right hand on your right hip. Inhale the left arm high overhead as you shift your weight forward, maybe even look up. Try not to overarch through the low back. As you exhale, bring your hand back down. Inhale. You can also choose to just stay in your half kneeling position if movement here is throwing you off balance. Inhale up and exhale down. One more time. Inhale up and pause. All right, here we are. See if you can get a little bit of a lean. This might throw off your balance. You know, if that happens, you've got the ground here. It's not too far away. See if you can get a little bit of a lean and then come back up to center. Bring both your hands back down to the mat and then heel toe that foot out so that you can get that knee back underneath you to tabletop, okay? Anytime you're doing that with your knee, pull in the belly to help your hips have structure in doing that. Okay, let's do the other side. All right, we started with our leg out to the side. I'm gonna turn around. Left leg now stretches out to the left, bringing the sole of the foot to the ground. Find the structure in the tabletop, shoulders down, belly in, and think about that left hip pushing down and towards the right knee that's on the ground underneath it. Bend the knee if you need to. Maintain that structure in your tabletop. Breathe. Check in. You know, if this is a big sensation, check in with your body. How can you change it to make it more suitable for you? All right, keep that belly pulled in as you bend through the left knee and bring the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Okay, stay in this low position. Keep your right hand right underneath your shoulder. Open up, twisted low lunge. So we're opening up to the left. Pull the shoulders down the back, belly in. Opening up that chest here. Slowly rounding the chest back down. You can bring that left hand to the left knee to help you come all the way up into a half kneeling position. So set it up here. Tailbone down, belly pulled in. Left hand on the left hip. Inhale, sweep the right arm up as you shift your weight forward. Look up maybe. And then exhale down. Let's do that 3 more times. Know that you can always stay in just that half kneeling position with the stretch. Twice more. One more. I'm going to pause over top here. And see if you can get that side stretch. Again, it's going to, challenge your balance a little bit. Keep the belly in and the shoulders down as you reach overhead to the left. See if your hips can push to the right. Come back up to center. And then both hands are going to come to the mat. And then you're going to find the tabletop position. Pull that belly in as you bring that knee back behind you. Okay. Bring the knees a little wider than the hips. And push your hips back into a child's pose position. Stretch your hands out far in front of you. We're not going to be here long. I want you to inhale. Lift your hips up. Push your hips forward. Broaden the chest. Squeeze the glutes. And then exhale. Exhale. Hips back. Okay, now we're in child's pose. Inhale. Finding a little bit of a heart opener. Little bit of a back bend. You find your comfort here with this. Keep the glutes engaged as you come forward. Exhale, child's pose, wherever that is for you. One more. Inhale. Come forward. Shift the hips forward. Externally rotate the shoulders. Tone the glutes. And then back. Settling in child's pose for just a moment. If your head can reach down to the mat, great. A block can be handy here. Check in. We're coming into a seated position next. So those of you who feel like child's pose isn't really accessible, go ahead and you can go ahead and go to the seated position. Tap into your breath. Those of us still in child's, inhale yourself up and come to a seated position. Okay, find something to sit on, whatever you've got. Towel, pillow. I know you guys know how to do this. Scooch yourself all the way to the edge. I see you all doing it. Scooch, scooch, scooch. Let's do it together. All right, let those hips start to rock off, whatever it is you're sitting on, so you can sit nice and tall. And bring your hands and let them lightly rest on your knees. If you're feeling like you have energy to offer up to other people, you can do palms up. If you're feeling like you need to protect energy for yourself for this moment, palms down. Close your eyes. Sit tall and proud. And just take this quiet moment here to do what we did in the beginning of class. Just take that intention of checking in, this little dance between mind and body, and just sort of take note, observe. Blink open the eyes. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Look up, watch them connect. Exhale, heart center. Continue. Inhale. Exhale. Allow this to be a dance of your body using your breath. Keep going. Twice more. Meeting in heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up, leave them up. Exhale, bend at the wrist, find engagement here. Inhale, fingertips up. Exhale, flex. Inhale, up. And keep going. You've got one more. This time you exhale, fist. Find as much of that arm muscle to the bone and then release it on your inhale. Exhale, tense it all up through the arms and the fist. Inhale, release it. Twice more. And this time, let your hands be in a neutral position. Little circles. I didn't see very many of you start those circles early. Good. One direction and the other. Inhale, look up, reach up, join your palms together. Exhale, down through heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up, pause here, drop the right arm, coming into our side stretch. And a couple breaths here, keep the chest rounded up. Check in with your shoulder position, don't wear them like earrings. Feel free to inch out a little bit. Anchor the left sit bone. Inhale yourself back up to center. And then exhale, twist to the left. You can relocate that right hand behind you. Keep the chest open. Keep the belly in. Keep the spine long. So we're twisting to the right. And then you can see what it feels like to complete that twist, bringing your gaze more towards your right shoulder. Let's everybody meet on an exhale. So find that exhale all the way out. On your inhale, unwind, sweep the arms up, watch them connect. Actually, don't connect. Exhale, bring the hands, right arm underneath the left. So wrapping your arms up, it can be back of the back of the hands together. So eagle arms, finding your version of eagle arms. This can also be eagle arms. So if that feels like too much, right, you can always drop the arms. Okay, everybody sit nice and tall, pull the belly in. Okay, if you've got the arms wrapped up, lift the forearms. Okay, and then I want you to try to bring the shoulder blades a little bit closer to the spine, just a little bit, to sort of counteract that rounding that's happening through the upper back. Breathe here. Inhale, unwind, sweep your arms up. Exhale, find cactus arms, squeeze the shoulder blades. Good. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, cactus arms, squeeze the shoulder blades. Inhale, keep going. We're gonna do this twice more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. This time, inhale, look up, reach up, watch your hands connect. Exhale, down through heart center, pausing here. Okay, and just Maybe roll out the shoulders a little bit there. Lift the elbows. Exhale, squeeze the palms together. Pull the belly in and the shoulders down the back. Inhales, release. Exhale, squeeze those palms together. Inhale, release. 3 more. Let's do 1 more. Inhale, sweep the arms up, leave them up. Left arm comes down to the mat. Find your side stretch here. Long spine, belly pulled in, right sit bone. Keep that action of anchoring it to the ground. It's okay if it comes off a little bit, but try to combat it. Inhale yourself back up, look up, reach up, exhale, twist to the left, relocate that left hand. Shoulders down the back, belly pulled in, spiraling along your spine. And then taking that gaze and slowly seeing how far you can get over that left shoulder. Just working on that neck range of motion here too. Let's meet on an exhale, getting a little more twist on the bottom of that exhale. Inhale, untwist, sweep the arms up. And then we're gonna eagle arm, left arm underneath. Wrap it up or do whatever it is, you know, and maybe this side you've got, you know, feels better, you know, and you can do a different version of it. It's okay if it's not the same as the other side. So sitting tall, pull the belly in. You've got your arms wrapped up, lift them up so your gaze is kind of right in front of your forearms, and then pull your arm bones into your shoulder sockets, which in turn is going to bring your shoulder blades kind of together towards the spine just a little bit. And then just check back in with that belly, pull it in, and then release the base of the skull. So release it long so that the crown of the head is radiating up above you. Slowly on an inhale, unwind, sweep the arms up, look up, reach up, connect, bring your hands back to center. Okay, release both hands back behind you. Some sort of external rotation of the hands. It does that you can kind of self-select that. And then lean back. So we've done this one before too. So think of cat-cow here. We're in a very different orientation, but it's the same kind of thing with the spine, okay? So on an exhale, I want you to actually round your back and draw your shoulders together and look down, maybe even tuck your tail underneath you. And then on an inhale, like as if you're going into cow pose, broadening your chest, really finding that external rotation of the arms and maybe arching a little bit through the back, maybe even looking up or almost behind you, depending on how you can go there. And then using your breath here, exhaling as you start to round in, tucking in. And then inhaling, finding that broad chest, external rotation of the shoulders, little back bend, looking up. Exhale here. We're going to do 1 more of each. Inhale up. Good. And then ending in a neutral spine, coming back up into a seated position. Both feet out long in front of you. And then bring your right sole of your foot into your left thigh. So left leg straight and strong. Sit tall. Think about, you might have to sort of readjust the sit bones here. Okay, think about both sit bones anchoring down, belly's pulled in, and then actively, we did this in a supine position before when we first started class. Actively pull that knee down towards the ground. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And then exhale, fold forward over the left leg with a long spine. Okay, so each inhale, long, straighten out. Exhale, maybe you get some more hinging from the hip. A couple breaths like that, just really prioritizing that long spine, but also, you know, finding the other parts here. Active pull of the right knee towards the mat. Left kneecap pulled up the leg. On your next exhale, if you'd like to round through the back, and that feels good to you, do it. Let the head be heavy. Keep all the other parts, right? But just let go of the head a bit. Slowly walk yourself back up, right? Bring that knee up and across the body, or across the left leg. And that left hand can plant, nope, right hand can plant behind you. Inhale the left arm up, fill up, and exhale, you twist to the right, grab a hold of that knee, hug it in, and then either keep that right hand down on the ground behind you or add it in. Don't feel like you need it. Wherever you are, feel that long spine and that twist to the right. And really the leg is being pulled across our center line, so there's a big stretch through the hip as well. You can also take that gaze across and behind you over the right shoulder. Just working that range of motion again. Draw the low belly in so that you have the nice long spine to spiral around. Slowly coming out of that twist, both legs long, switching sides. So now the right sole of the foot, inner right thigh. Setting yourself up, adjusting on whatever it is you're sitting on if needed. Right leg is straight and strong. Belly is pulled in. I'm anchoring both sit bones into the ground. Now my left knee is actively being pulled to the ground. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, dive forward, flat back, you know, hands to the ground or your shin, whatever. Keep that long spine. Each inhale, you might have to come out of your hinge, and then exhale, see if you can get more of that hinging from the hip. And then checking in with all the other parts, belly pulled in, left knee being pulled down, right leg straight and strong. Checking in with tension in your body that's unnecessary for this position. Checking in with your mind space. All that important work that we do on the mat. On your next exhale, if you'd like to round, do it. Let the head be heavy. Slowly coming back upright with the torso, bringing the left foot to the ground and up and over the right leg. Left hand can place and plant behind the left hip. Inhale the right leg or right arm high. Exhale, twist to the left as you grab that knee in towards the chest. And then again, that left hand can come around if you feel like you don't need it on the ground. Sitting nice and tall, really thinking about anchoring that left sit bone down and almost through the ground. That's really going to pull on these rotators on the outside of our hip. So we're stretching external rotators of the hip, which tend to be pretty tight in most people. Sitting nice and tall. And then thinking about working on that range of motion through the neck over the left hand shoulder. And taking that slow, right? Not rushing into any of this. Check back in with all the parts. Slowly unwinding here, releasing the left leg long, coming into a straddle position. And we're going to do a forward fold right down the middle. So inhale, you can sweep your arms up if you like, you can keep them on the ground. Inhale, tall spine, exhale as you come forward. Hands can be on the ground to kind of help give you that kickstand. Again, long spine, active legs. belly pulled in, shoulders down the back. And then just see if after a few breaths, there's a little bit more to offer. Invitation on the next exhale, if you'd like to just round and kind of fold into this a little bit more. You know, blocks can come in handy if your like head is almost there, but not there, and you want to ground it. That can feel fabulous. And remembering blocks have three heights, creating a little bit of stability here, grounding. Slowly come upright with the torso, bending the knees, bringing the soles of the feet together. And grabbing the ankles, making sure those sit bones are finding that neutral position in this leg position, which is oftentimes a lot to ask. Okay, using those hands on the ankles to find that tall spine. So belly in so that the spine can find its natural curves and you're not overarching in the low back. So either sit tall and stay here or see what it feels like to begin to hinge forward again with that flat back, right? Many of you might feel like you didn't go anywhere, and that's okay. It's okay. We're really sort of asking the hips to open up into a position that they aren't often asked to. Breathe into it. Check in. Slowly come out of that. Let the legs come together. We are transitioning onto our back. So remove whatever it is you're sitting on, and then slowly and mindfully coming down onto the back. Good. Feet out wide, knees in narrow. Close your eyes for a moment and just settle into this supine position. All right, coming back up to the surface, bringing your feet about hip width apart, scooching your heels in towards your sit bones, stretch your arms along your side, palms are down. We're gonna do some pelvic tilts first and then move into bridge. So on an exhale, flatten your low back to the ground, your tailbone will become light on the mat. Your hips stay on the mat though, bracing through the core. And then your inhale, release out, neutral spine there. Exhale, brace through the core, pull the belly button towards the spine and zip up the rib cage. Inhale, release. We're going to do that twice more. So you're finding that engagement through that low core, pulling everything in and then releasing it out. On this one, do your pelvic tilt, but then come all the way up into a bridge. And just, you know, mindfully and thinking about, you know, times that you do bridge on your own, that's how you really should come into bridge, using that pelvic tilt, that scooping up of the hips and then a peeling up of the spine. So feel the glutes, maybe pull the heels a little bit closer towards, you know, create the action of pulling the heels in towards your body, just to sort of light up the hamstrings. Good. Slowly lower, do that, how you came up, do that in reverse. So each vertebrae down in your spine, eventually you'll kind of get to your hips, and then the hips will roll down to the tailbone. Coming up into bridge pose one more time. We won't be here as long, just find all the parts. And slowly lower down, one vertebrae at a time. Good. All right. Bring your ankle, right ankle to left knee, creating this figure 4. Okay, and if you know that this doesn't work for any reason in your body, you can just stick with bridge pose. Okay, we're going to do a one-sided bridge with this figure 4. So scoop the hips up, scoop them up, peel the spine off the ground, and find this one-legged version of bridge. Take your right knee, Actively pull it towards the ground, but keep your hips square. So you're feeling this opening of the right side and this engagement through the left. Slowly lower down, attempting to do one vertebrae at a time, all the way down to the tailbone. And then thread the needle and find your figure 4 stretch. So you can grab your hamstring, you can grab your shin, you can use a strap here. Okay. But again, take a moment to find the stretch here. Taking that left knee, pulling it in. So it's pulling that right ankle towards your chest. Your right shin bone should be just sort of right across your sort of vision. There shouldn't be too much of it should be about a 90 degree with your knee. And then stretch your tailbone down towards the ground as you push away your right knee from your chest with your right elbow. Try to relax the head to the ground. Release the shoulders a little bit, right? We're using our arms to get this stretch, but if you can release just a little bit in the upper body, it'll help the lower body settle in. And release out of that figure 4 nice and slowly, both feet to the ground, and let them windshield wiper. We're going to do a few of these to side, so take your range of motion slow, and then you can kind of slowly get that rocking of the hips back and forth. Good. And then settling in the middle. Let's switch sides, so the right ankle on top of the left knee. Okay, setting yourself up for this figure 4 bridge. Drive through the heel, scoop the hips up, and then peel the spine up off the ground. Keep those hips square to the ground, right? So don't let one hip drop, but actively pull the left knee towards the mat. So you kind of have to combat that by pushing the left hip up as your left knee gets pulled down, sort of like counter force. Slowly roll your spine down, all the way down to the tailbone. And then find figure 4. Bringing that right knee in, pulling the right ankle towards the chest, grabbing the hamstring or the shin or using a strap. Taking a couple of nice deep breaths here. Easing in. Stretch the tailbone towards the mat and then try to let go of some tension through the shoulders. And release the right foot down, both feet on the ground, windshield wiper, or maybe you want a full body stretch and just reach your arms and feet in opposite direction, whatever feels good as a transition here. All right, if you have a block, we're gonna do legs up, okay? So we've done this before, so you'll kind of know what you need. I like to do it with a block underneath my sacrum on the lowest setting of the block, and that just helps me keep my legs up and feel really comfortable here. So if you have a block and you know that that's useful for you, great, set it up. If you know that one leg up is just gonna be better for you, go for the one leg up with a bent knee, with or without a block, and I'll give you a halfway through, okay? So either both feet up or one foot up. You can also place your hands underneath your sacrum. Sometimes if you don't have a block, that feels a little bit like a little supportive. It's just a little bit easier to hold that legs up. So as your legs are up above you, kind of try not to hold on too much tension through the legs. Just let them be there, right above the hips. Your arms are doing whatever they can to help support you, but also let go of tension. Breathe. How's your body feel? Where's your mind space at? If you're doing one leg, now is a good time to switch. We're about halfway. Bending from the knees, bringing your feet down to meet the ground, removing any props that you might be using. And then full body stretch, or just the knees falling back and forth, or maybe take your feet out wide and let your knees fall together. Any transition. Okay, we're gonna find full happy baby. So we did the half version in the beginning. So you're gonna create that squat on the ceiling. So feet are facing up. Grab the outer edge of the feet. If you can't quite get there, that's okay. Grab what you can on that leg, and then pull both knees towards the outer rib cage. You know, and then if you feel like you can kind of get there, then you might think about stretching the tailbone to the ground, right? But if you're having a hard time just getting those knees down, work on that. Don't worry about the tailbone being pulled up, right? Be mindful of your shoulders. If you want to have movement, a little rocking here, you can do that experiment that we did with half happy baby, with see how far one leg can straighten, and then maybe the other leg, you're like, no way. I think it feels great, but investigate if it calls. Slowly release out of that. Bring the soles of the feet together. Let them come down to the mat. Find Supta Baddha Konasana. I tend to use this asana as a transitioning into Shavasana. It's nice to give the body and the mind just that time to make transition. I've let it all sink in. So we're heading towards that succumbing to stillness. So let that be a part of what you're doing here. Letting go. You're letting things drape towards the ground. Feeling the parts of your body that are touching the mat, and letting those parts of your body sink into the mat even more. Shutting down the eyes here, giving yourself permission to take out the visual stimulus and keep that sort of attention to the tethering of mind and body. And using Shavasana to help maintain that dance between the two. Extending the legs long when you're ready. Taking moments to wiggle if you need it. Letting go. Adding any props that you might need to. We all have a pillow we got out. You put that under the knees or under the head. Or maybe a blanket over you. Whatever you need to settle here. And just find stillness. I think we all come to yoga for different reasons. Many come because it just feels good. It feels good to move your body intentionally. Some of us, feel like we need balance, perspective. Some of us might feel like we have some inner work that yoga helps us do. But all of that boils down to cultivating presence. Doing the work to settle the mind and the body so that our true self, our true authentic self can emerge. And I think if we all lead with our true authentic self, we have something to offer. The world needs you now. It needs all of us now. The work that we do on the mat can help us do the work off the mat. Start to make that transition out of Shavasana. Maybe blink open the eyes. Keep the gaze light and low. Deepen the breath. Invite small movements and slowly begin your journey to a seated position, taking the time to set yourself up in your seated position. No hurry, no rush. And when you arrive there, bringing your hands to heart center, you can choose eyes open or closed. Bow your chin. Lift your chest. Embody that proud posture. Give a little smile in honor of your practice today, the work that you're doing on the mat. Lift your thumbs to your third eye. Press firmly. The highest light in me sees and honors and respects the highest light in each of you. Namaste. Thanks, guys. Oh, Cheryl made it. Look at that. you guys can unmute yourself. I can't unmute anybody these days.